Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Kale over at Colorado Media School, and today I'm super excited because I'm going to be kicking off a new series where I teach you the most efficient and best processes I have found to be the best version of yourself in the editing room. I'm going to take you through the entire editing process, starting from offloading your SD card all the way up to exporting the best version of your product possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into episode 1, which is going to be file management and offloading your SD card properly. So super excited.
It's very, very exciting.
So you just finished filming your very first film project and you're ready to get into the editing bay and crank it out. That way you can show all your friends and family how awesome of a videographer you are. But slow down. There's a couple of housekeeping things we got to take care of first. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that process looks like. The first thing you're going to do is obviously take that SD card out of your camera and go ahead and stick it in the computer. Depending on which computer you use, you might see a little window pop up saying, hey, we noticed you plugged in an SD card. What do you want to do with it? The quickest and easiest way I have found in my experience is to actually close that window and go ahead and open up 2 versions of File Explorer. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So let me go ahead and take a second and explain why we have to do this whole process. So for your video editor, in my case and in the school's case, it's going to be Adobe Premiere Pro. They use a special technique called nesting in order to reference your videos for editing. What nesting is it's not necessarily making a duplicate version of your video and moving that duplicate version into your editor. Instead, it's keeping the video files and Premiere separate from each other, and it's just referencing where the files are located in your computer. So for example, if I edit off my SD card and I don't move my files at all, when I unplug that SD card while I'm working, Premiere is going to get really confused and it's going to lose track of where it was looking at where my files were, because now my files are in my hand and not on the computer. So that is the main reason why we have to move everything off our SD card. And your SD card is going to fill up pretty quick. You'd be surprised. So offloading it off your SD card and then deleting it off your SD card is a good way to manage space on your SD card. That way you don't walk around like me with 15 SD cards in your pocket at all times.
Seems like a lot of fuss has been made about that.
Now that we understand why we have to do this process, let's go ahead and do the process ourselves. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a fair warning here. The first couple times you do this, it might feel a little overwhelming, but hang in there. We're going to do this a lot, and the more and more you do it, the more confident you will get in your ability to do it.
That seems like a lot of work.
But what I want you to go ahead and do is open up 2 versions of File Explorer. So you're going to have a left version and a right version. I'll go ahead and show you what that means. So I'm going to click on File Explorer, and the File Explorer window is going to pop up right in front of me, real nice and pretty. And then I'm going to click on the top middle of that window. Make sure I'm not clicking on any text or any icons or anything. I'm going to drag it to the left or right middle of the edge of the screen. So if you kind of watch along here, you'll see I'm dragging it and I'm grabbing it and I'm moving it to the right. I usually start on the right. We're going to have 2 of these. So if you notice, once I drag it over, there's going to be this nice big clear window. It's showing you, hey, once you let go of the button, this is where the new placement of the window is going to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and let go here. It's gonna take up half the screen. And now I'm gonna go down to the middle of my toolbar and I'm gonna right click on File Explorer and open it again. So I'm gonna right click on it. All these different recently opened files are gonna pop up, and I'm going to just click on File Explorer. So now I have that one, and again, top middle of the screen, and I'm gonna click it and drag the window all the way to the left edge of the screen. That way it takes up the other half. So now I have 2 windows side by side. Looks real nice, real neat.
This looks neat.
So now that I have both of these 2 windows open, I'm going to choose one of the 2 windows, to use as my SD card and the other window to use as my location folder of where I'm going to drop everything. So in this example, I'm going to use the left side of the screen as my SD card and the right side of the screen as my location. So for the SD card, once you click on it, you kind of just have to go through every single folder to see where your camera decided to dump the videos that you took. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of click through everything until I find the clips that I'm working on for this video right here. So I'm just looking for thumbnails of myself talking into a microphone. And then once I find them, I'm going to go ahead and switch windows here. So now I'm on the left window. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the right window. And I'm going to locate the spot I want to drop this footage in. So in this case, I'm going to go to video projects. Then I'm going to go to instructors or teachers. And then I'm going to go to myself. And then in this folder, I'm going to have even more folders, but I'm going to go ahead and drop all of this work in the tutorials folder that I'm making. So what I'm going to do is I have both of these windows popped up, and now I'm going to click on the first video in my sequence that I'm working on here. Then I'm going to hold Shift on the keyboard, and I'm going to click on the very last video that I'm working on in the sequence. That way it highlights everything on my SD card side, and I only have to do this one time. So I'm going to click the first one, hold Shift, click the last one, and then move it over. So click and drag into my tutorials folder. That way I have all the media I need real nice and neatly in one folder that's not on my SD card. So that's what we're going to go ahead and get started with. Make sure we do this process every single time. I know it kind of feels like a lot, but I promise with practice and with time, you're going to be rocking and rolling through it, no problem. So I hope this helped. This is going to be episode 1 of a lengthy process. So the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is actually take these files and organize them in a manner that makes sense to not just you, but for everyone. And the reason you're going to want to know this is because it is a number one retainer of clients, is keeping yourself organized. So I hope this helped. Please let me or one of your instructors know if you have any questions, and I will see you out there.